The sad incident of a 14-year-old Premier Academy boarding student, Keren-Happuch Aondodoo Akpagher, which led to her untimely death, started on the 19th of June 2021. Keren-Happuch reportedly died on the 21st of June 2021 from an infection after a condom was discovered in her private part. Vivien Akpagher, the mother of the deceased, speaking for the first time after the death of her child, gave details on what transpired before her death.
All this story started on the 18th of June, on a Friday, when my daughter sent a message and later called that we should come and pick her for medical attention, that she has an eye infection. But the teacher, she used her phone, said she will be in trouble if I come on Friday. So the next day being a call day, Saturday, I can call and come and pick her. So the next day I called the matron in their clinic and told her my daughter had called complaining of an eye infection. So I would like to come and pick her. And she said yes. My daughter had come to her on Thursday and said from her words, she said my daughter told her that, "Matron, this my eye has started again." But she said if I would, she was using an allergy drop for her, which wasn't working. So I said yes, it can be an allergy, so I would love to come and pick her. But she said if I bring her home, on her return, she'll be kept in isolation for 7 days without going to school or mixing up with her classmates or schoolmates. So I didn't want that for her. So she said there was an alternative of me paying and then the school bringing her to the clinic for treatment and taking her back. That was the very first time I heard of that, because I've been taking her out even for medical checkups. So I agreed to that, and they brought her to me at Nisa Premier. They attended to her. They brought her in company of a nurse, a teacher, and there was another kid in the car. So when she asked why I didn't come to pick her and I explained to her, she said that the kid in the car was given an exit to go and attend her mom's birthday. And that she has never stayed in isolation after going back to school. So I said, I was surprised when we had finished her medication and it was time for her to go back with them. She asked me, "Mommy, are you still leaving me to go back with these people?" So I told her that she shouldn't worry, she should go and get her things together. I will secure an exit from the principal and then come and pick her. So when she left, I called the principal, and the principal asked if she was still there with me. I said no, she had to go and pick her things. And then I secured the exit for her. He said, "When you get to the school, call me, madam." When I got to the school, I called the principal and he won't pick. So I called the matron, and the matron said, since they've established that it's a bacterial infection, they will take care of her. I shouldn't bother, I should go back home. I called the principal, and the principal said, the matron said they can take care of her, and if I take her, she will stay in isolation for 5 days. So I actually turned and was going back when she called, my daughter called through the school phone. And she started crying that, "Mommy, I said you should come and pick me." I said I came, but the school wouldn't let me. So when she was crying, I got angry. But she asked to speak with my brother who was with me. After they had ended the call, I asked my brother what she said. And she said, "You people don't even know why I'm asking you to come and pick me, and you're going back without me." And the house mother told my brother that she couldn't even walk to school on Wednesday, 16th. That's the Wednesday before the Saturday. That she had to be supported by her friends to go and write a test, which she wrote crying. and advise that we disregard whatever the matron is telling us and come and get her. So at that point, I asked my brother we should go back and pick her. I tried reaching the matron and the principal severally, but they wouldn't pick. So I sent a text message asking that she be released to me. By the time I got to the school, I went to the security post and asked to talk to the principal. So the security man called the principal. When he asked him who was there, and he said I was the one. I don't know what they discussed, but he shifted away from me. When he came back after their discussion, I asked him what he said. He just said, I don't understand what he was saying. So I was there for a long time, from 1:30 to, for a long time. I kept on calling. And none of them would pick. So, but later the matron now called and said, Madam, I'm just seeing your message. You still want to take your daughter? I said, yes, I do. So she said, okay, I'll talk to the principal to arrange an exit for her. After about 30 minutes, I called the principal twice. He wouldn't pick, so I used my second line. I called him. When he picked, he said, Madam, you don't want me to rest today? I said, I'm sorry, I just want to take my daughter. He said, I'll soon release her to you. It took another 30 minutes. Then the security man came to me and gave me the phone. He said, she's coming out now. When she came out, my daughter had her hand over her face. And then she went and stood by the wall. When I wanted to take her, the security insisted I must provide my ID card for them to snap before I can take her. And that was the very first time they were asking for that, because I had 2 other children there and I've been picking them. So I gave them the ID card, they snapped, and I took my daughter home. Immediately we got home, she wouldn't eat. She just went and switched off all the lights and laid there. So I thought she was just angry that I wouldn't come and pick her when she asked. I asked her, they said you couldn't walk to school. What happened? She said my eye was the problem. Then I said, so who helped you to school? She said her house mother and 2 of her friends. So the next day, which was Sunday, she was home with us, but in the evening, I noticed that she wasn't looking too well. I told her we'll go to the hospital tomorrow. But by 11 p.m., she came to me that she vomited. She now laid in my room with me. The next day, early in the morning, I noticed she asked for water. And her movements, I noticed she wasn't coordinating as that. So I rushed her to the clinic. When we got there, in the process of giving her drip, they said because she was too weak, they had to insert a catheter in her. In the process, they saw a discharge. They tested that and found out it was condom. And then when they tested the urine, they said it contained dead spermatozoa. And then throughout her stay, even though she was in a semi-conscious state, she was fighting and shouting, please, just let me go and pee.
Why did you come out
here? She died early hours of Tuesday. She just left.
Prior to the death of Keren-Happuch, it was alleged that she had a discussion with her classmates on what she feared most. She was quoted to have said what she feared most was rape. She also went ahead to mark a passage in the Bible which suggests the fear was not unfounded. Her mother said while she was going through her daughter's belongings after her death, she found Keren's Bible and discovered that she marked Job 3:18, which according to her signified that she might have been raped.
And one of the markings was Job 3 from verse 18, verse 20. 25 of it says, "For the thing I greatly feared has come upon me, and what I dreaded has happened to me. I am not at ease, nor am I quiet. I have no rest, for trouble comes."
Also, the leader of the Coalition of Gender-Based Violence Responders, Lemi Ugegbe, who is currently handling the case, said the police have been biased in investigating the case, adding that the autopsy result of late Keren was seized by the Nigerian Police Command in Abuja.
But when civil society says we want to talk about Keren, the FCT Police Command decides to clamp down on us, wanting to stop the rally where we wanted to talk about justice for Keren, coming after me, going to harass my family and threaten our existence because they do not want to. Is the FCT Police Command the public relations officer of Premier Academy? A mother lost her daughter. The mother paid all the medical bills before the daughter died. Medical report comes out and police holds onto the medical report tenaciously, not a copy given to a mother. A mother does not have an official explanation for the death of her child. She has to get the explanation from the back door because the police, according to them, do not want her to, to give the press, the media, the medical report.
In the course of investigation, Roots TV obtained an audio recording allegedly made by an alumnus of Premier Academy. The ex-student who pleaded anonymity made claims suggesting that Keren-Happuch's case might not be an isolated incident, as several others might have been addressed in-house in the past.
Hi, good morning. So I would rather express myself through a voice note. First of all, I'm so sorry about the death of this poor little girl. She didn't have to die. I feel like I kind of feel guilty. I don't even know why. For some reason, I haven't been able to concentrate since I read about this because honestly, like I said, I'm an ex-student, and since I was in Premier, while I was in Premier, honestly, there was a problem of pedophiles. Like, I can say that as of now, as of today, I'm very sure that they still have, 3 known pedophiles in the school. I think one of them is even like head of house school, house within it. I can't remember, but one of them is like he was promoted. So I'm so sorry for this girl's death. It's really sad she had to die. But please, if there's anything I could do to help, if there's anything, if you need someone to I don't know, anything I can do to help, please just let me know, because I feel for some reason very guilty for not reporting all those staff that way. It wasn't even just, it was staff and drivers and cleaners. It was a whole bunch of pedophiles in the school that were taking care of kids. And the vice principal knew about it, the ED, that short one, she knew about, they all knew about it, but everybody just kept it hush hush, hush hush hush. I know of only one teacher that was while I was there, that is not actually two, Mr. Alade and this Hausa teacher. They were both sacked. Mr. Alade was sacked because he tried to, one girl from my set, he wanted her to come to his office for obviously you know what, right? And she reported, and the other staff literally chastised this girl and said that she was seducing this grown-ass man. Anyway, at the end of the day, he ended up getting sacked. Also, the Hausa teacher that was teaching us Hausa when I was in junior secondary school, he was known to be telling girls, oh, your boobs is like Nicki Minaj, oh, your hips is like Nicki Minaj. He literally would sexualize children for his own pleasure. He was also sacked, right? So I would say that Premier Academy is guilty of carelessness and negligence to their students when it comes to having pedophiles around, period. As an ex-student, I can testify that Premier has a very terrible habit of, not taking sexual harassment serious. Period. They do not take it serious. From an ex-student, I would say it with both my legs on the ground that Premier Academy is one way guilty of this girl's death. that condom that was found in her should be thoroughly investigated, because knowing what being an ex-student of that school, they are guilty. Like, they are very careless when it comes to their students. They are very careless. They usually do not take all these sexual harassment things serious among staff and among students. Some students were also sleeping with students and they knew about it, and they did not put anything any serious measure to make it stop. Like, I'm so sorry I'm sending you so much voice notes and ranting, but honestly, I personally feel like, being an ex-student from that school, I feel some level of guilt knowing that that school is very, very, very careless about sexual harassment. It's very, very sad that this little girl had to die. Really, is really sad. I just really hope that Premier is either shut down, because honestly, I'm sure she's not the first, and I'm sure she's not the only person that has something to say when it comes to sexual harassment in that school. I know of ex-students, I know of myself. I personally have experienced sexual harassment in that school, in the sense where I'm walking and staff smacks my ass and it's talking about, oh, your nyash is growing. I was fucking 12, 13, 14, 15. I can't remember, because I feel some form of, not responsibility, but I feel some form of attachment to this girl's death, knowing that Premier has pedophiles as teachers in that school.
We also obtained a letter of suspension which was issued to one Onitilo KK, a PHE teacher of Premier Academy. It was alleged that he was suspended on the grounds of sexual harassment. Roots TV visited Premier Academy where the incident occurred, and we were able to speak with the acting principal and the matron of the school. The acting principal, Chris Akinshowo, described the late Keren-Happuch as an easygoing student who had good relationship with her colleagues, juniors and seniors alike. Speaking on the incident, he said,
Those findings by the family are shocking, worrisome, and unbelievable. They're unbelievable because all what I know is that she left here on Saturday, 19th of June, at around 4:20 or thereabout. She was at home on Saturday, Sunday, Monday morning. We got a call by the mom that she has been hospitalized, and instantly we mobilized. We went there. The matron and one of my colleagues, because I was busy somewhere checking some of these jam center in town. So they went there. They were with the family before she passed on.
Akinshowo debunked most of the revelations made by the mother. He described them as shocking and untrue.
That again is shocking and unbelievable. The very week in question was the week of the continuous assessment, and not the real exam, not the third term examination now, but second continuous assessment test. And if a child maybe for one reason or the other is unable to write the test, we have provisions for makeup. So in the case of Keren now, for her to be supported to the classroom, why? If she was really sick to the point of being supported, it's just a matter of calling the parent, please pick her up, and then we'll give her a makeup some other time. In all the tests, she took all her papers, and the results are even out. She did well in all of them. So if she was not in the right frame of mind, as is now being purported now, then the performance in those results will be nothing to write home about. So it was never true.
We further asked him about the audio allegation made by the ex-student, of which he said they were untrue.
No members of staff have ever molested any student here. no student has ever been abused. Are you with me? Every organization has its own policy, rules, and regulation. We take exception to when a teacher goes beyond the ethics of the profession and begin to engage students in things that they are not supposed to engage them in. There are boundaries between a teacher and a student. When a teacher is beginning to say things that they are not supposed to be saying, then we as a management, we have to come in and do the needful. There was a letter that is being circulated here and there. It wasn't child molestation. It was just careless talk with students. And we waded in, we investigated, and then the teacher was shown the way out. If we don't care, we wouldn't have brought such up. The guy will have still been in the school now. What happened? The child was not molested. No child has been molested there. No child has been abused there. It was just talk, reckless talk.
There have been scenarios where sexually abused persons found it difficult to speak up for fear of stigmatization and in some cases, threats from abusers. We further sought the principal's opinion on the possibility of Keren's case going reported because she was afraid to speak up, to which he responded saying the pupils had been taught to be bold and outspoken on all matters concerning their well-being.
It's not possible. Our students are very bold. You've not met them? They've been taught to speak up. They are bold. And that's what we want.
The principal was further asked about measures taken since the incident occurred in order to prevent a recurrence. He said an internal investigation had begun.
Yeah, we set up an internal investigation committee to look into this. They met with students, they met with teachers. When they also met with some of our key friends, and they've been asking questions here and there. So we've done that, and then we again went through all our cameras, CCTV, maybe peradventure, maybe none. Cameras positioned at various places.
We also spoke with the school matron, Grace Alamia, who described the late Keren as a good, calm, friendly and bold girl.
Keren is a good girl. She's a nice girl. She's calm, she's friendly. She's not timid. Before now, I would term her to be an extrovert. Okay? She's a nice girl.
The matron recounted when she first met the late Keren up until her untimely death. She said the deceased came to the school with type 1 diabetes mellitus, which they had been managing.
My encounter with her started in 2019, April, when she resumed in this school. She came in when she was in GS2. And she came in with a case of type 1 diabetes mellitus, which is an insulin-dependent type of diabetes. Okay, so she depends on insulin for survival, so to speak. So she takes this injection twice every day. Since she came to this school, according to the mother, she was diagnosed of the condition when she was 9 years old. So from then she has been on insulin. And we have continued to manage her with that condition. She's not a child that falls sick from time to time. Apart from the condition we were managing for her, she was okay, she was okay, relatively healthy. And she does have fasting blood sugar too, because we have to keep tab on the blood sugar reading. Sometimes when I even feel it's getting high, I order for different diets for her. So I go to the caterer of the school, and we make other food for her, like or ripe plantain porridge, and boiling and all of that. So we've tried to maintain her blood sugar. She has a recording of her fasting blood sugar, which she documents by herself. She has a book, so after doing it, she writes it in that book. And also her injection. When she came in 2019, the mom told me she gives herself. I was surprised anyway. She was just 12 years old then. So I was happy that possibly she has come to terms with her condition and she's determined to manage it too. But along the line, we discovered that without strict supervision, she doesn't want to do it. You cannot blame her because she's just a child. Injecting yourself twice a day is not an easy stuff. So she always takes this injection under the supervision of the nurse on duty. She comes in the morning by 7 a.m. to take the morning dose, and she comes in the evening by 7 p.m. to take the evening dose. She was never sick. I think for this term, she visited the clinic twice, in May and then June. In May, she came with complaint of catarrh, which was treated. Then she did not show up again, apart from coming to take her insulin. She did not show up to complain of any medical condition until that Thursday, the 17th of June, when she walked up to me at the clinic alone, unaided, to show me her red eye. Her left eye was red, so she came to complain about it to me. It's not something that we're not used to. She used to have it once in a while. So I gave her an eye drop, and the policy of the school on sick children is that if you're treating a child and after 24 hours the child is not getting better, you consult the parents or you send the child to our retainership hospital. We have retainership with National Hospital. But in her own case, in less than 24 hours, the next day, Friday, the mother called me and told me that she spoke with Keren, and Keren told her the eye stuff started again. I said yes. She came to me yesterday and I've put an eye drop for her. And the mom said the last time she took her for that eye issue, the doctor asked them to get glasses for her. And the hospital was supposed to call her when the glasses is available for pickup. So jokingly, I told her, please, glasses does not take more than 1 or 2 days to get ready. What you're talking about is over few months now. Please speak with the doctor, find out if he's ready so that you can pick them for us. And equally ask the doctor if there's any medication we can put for her, since he is the doctor that has been attending to her. Why? Because we don't subject her to medications as such because of her condition. It will have to be strictly under her doctor's prescription. So by Saturday morning, the mother called me back in the morning to tell me that she spoke with the doctor, and the doctor is asking that they see her because they cannot attend to her by proxy. And since COVID pandemic, we don't release children to their parents again for medicals. What we do is that the parents send the name of the hospital for us, book the appointment, and a nurse, a school nurse, will take the child to the hospital. The parents will be advised to wait for us at the hospital. So when we get there, we hand over the child to them and they take the child to see the doctor. So I told her that, and she was okay with the arrangement, though she was aware of it before. She was okay with the arrangement, and in less than 1 hour, I sent a nurse and a school driver to take the child to hospital. She gave me the address of the hospital, Nisa Premier, on that Saturday. So the child was taken to Nisa Premier on Saturday morning. The mother was there. The nurse handed over the child to the mother, and the mother took her to see the ophthalmologist. After the consultation, she came out with 3 eye drops, chloramphenicol, which we were using for her before, Cipro eye drop, and diclofenac eye drop. The 3 eye drops, the mom handed over the eye drops to the nurse and the child back to the nurse to bring back to school on that Saturday the 17th, and they came back to school. But when they got to school, the nurse told me that the girl wanted to go with her mom from the hospital. I was surprised. I told her that anyway, I'm not surprised. It's a boarding school. Once they see their parents, they want to go home. And that was it. I was in school on that Saturday. On my way out of school in the afternoon, she ran up to me. When I was driving past their hostel, I heard a student shouting my name, "Matron, wait, matron, wait." I waited and she was the one. She ran to me and was asking me if she's still going home today. And I told her I cannot answer that because you had a medical case and I arranged for you. Your mom has taken you to see the ophthalmologist. I don't see any reason why you want to go home again today. She said no, she wants to go just for the weekend. She will come back tomorrow. And I told her, you're going home now is no longer medical. So I don't have a say in that one. I advised her to stay in school and study. I left. That weekend was open to students for phone calls. We used alternate weekends to allow them speak with their parents. So that weekend was the weekend for phone call. I think she ran into the hostel and she called the mom again. Before I drove to my house, the mom sent me a message. She had called. She sent me a message. My house is not too far from the school. And she said she's still disturbing her. She would like to come and pick her up. I called her immediately. Madam, did you change your mind? She said no, that the girl has been disturbing her. She didn't want to pick her up. She has shouted on her on the phone that since she got back to school, she has been using the school line to call her, to beg her to pick her just for the weekend. She has threatened her with, you know, if I should pick you home now, I will not bring you back to that school. She said, no, she's sorry, mommy, help me, I will come back tomorrow. Just pick me home. I just want to stay for the weekend at home. And the mom equally said she told her that exams is by the corner. She should stay in school and study, but she was still disturbing her. So she wanted to just come and pick her for the weekend. I said, okay, you will have to call the acting principal to tell him. Why did I say this? It's not medical. If it's medical, I don't have to tell her to call the acting principal. If it's medical, I don't give exeat, but I recommend any sick child for exeat. And once it gets to the acting principal's desk, he approves as long as it's medical. So I told her to call the acting principal, but that I will help her speak with him too. And when I dropped her call, I called the acting principal. And I told her about the girl. He was surprised that, but she just went out now to see the doctor. I said yes, and she came back to school. But you know children, if we don't allow her go now, her mind is just at home. Maybe we should just allow her go since she's coming back tomorrow. And that was it. The acting principal issued the exeat. By the time the mom was calling me back to tell me that she cannot reach the acting principal, I told her your exeat is already at the gate. Just come in and pick the girl. And that was all. She came in and picked her home in stable condition. Now, on Monday morning, around past 8 or 9, thereabout, she called me. She said her daughter became delirious that morning. And I was wondering what happened. She said she doesn't know. What did she eat at home over the weekend? She said she doesn't know. Did she take her insulin? She doesn't know. But all the same, they were in the hospital. She told me all the answer she gave to me was she doesn't know, but we are at the hospital and her blood sugar shoot up to over 400. I was surprised. I told her that the last fasting blood sugar that this girl did with us was 114. And she said, yes, she's aware. She told her when she came home on Saturday. So why will it jump to over 400? She said she doesn't know, but the doctors are attending to her. After about 1-2 hours that she spoke with me, she called again. And this time she was shouting, I should come to the hospital. She's sending me the address of the hospital. Her daughter was traumatized in our school. I should come with the acting principal. And I told her, Madam, calm down. I don't understand. You said your daughter's blood sugar went up and she became delirious. Yes, I can understand that. But where is the history or story of this trauma coming from again? She said she cannot talk now, that I should just come. And I went looking for the acting principal. He was not in school. That day was JAM. He went out to the JAM centers. And he delegated someone, the head of pastoral, to follow me to the hospital. We went to the hospital that afternoon, Monday afternoon, that is the 19th now of June. When we got there, the girl was in coma.
The matron added that the school visited the late Keren's house to pay a condolence visit, and while they were there, she tried finding out the circumstances that led to the death of the student.
They got back to school. When you called me this morning, you told me she was delirious. How come she's deeply in coma? She said she was sedated. She now said they got decayed condom from her and they saw spermatozoa in her urine. I couldn't marry these two statements. Unfortunately, we lost her early morning of the next day. I think the mom said around 2 o'clock. Now, that same day, we went to her house for condolence. And when we were there, I tried to find out some things from her. Because, to me, medically, the first thing that could trigger such is the fact that she may not have taken her insulin. You know, the mother may not know that this girl is getting tired of this injection. She has to be strictly monitored before she takes it. So she had the morning dose of Saturday before leaving the school. I don't know if she had the evening dose of that Saturday, the morning dose of Sunday, and the evening dose of Sunday. If she missed these 3 consecutive doses, then it's enough for her blood sugar to shoot up by Monday morning. Because the mom said in the morning she asked for water. And one of the signs of high sugar, blood sugar, is thirst. That she asked for water that early morning. And it was when she finished drinking that water that she became delirious. So when we got to her house on that Tuesday afternoon, the day we lost her, I asked her some questions. She told me when the girl came in on Saturday, she took fruits and she even lay down to sleep on her couch. But she had to wake her up to go upstairs and sleep. And she went upstairs and slept for long. But because the girl liked sleeping, she didn't bother disturbing her. And that by Sunday, the girl woke up normal. And she even cooked for her younger brother on that Sunday. There was nothing wrong with her. Not until Monday morning, around 4 a.m. That was what the mother told me. That it was around 4 a.m. on Monday morning that she asked for water. And after drinking the water, she became delirious and they had to rush her to the hospital. And on arrival at the hospital, her blood sugar was over 400. So they started managing her. Now, I'm not aware of any infection that a child will not complain of within 72 hours that could just turn to sepsis or septicemia. Because while she was with us, she never complained. She's close to the clinic because she comes twice every day to the clinic. So that she was supported to write her test is not true. Because there are times that when I even call parents to pick their children up when they are sick, before they come, if they have any test or what, they will tell me they are on their way. I asked the teachers to bring the paper to the clinic. There's no way she would have been supported to go to class to write tests. It's not possible. And she's so close to the clinic that if she's sick and she has to be supported, her first point of call should have been the clinic. Even the day she went home, I heard the mom said she was supported too when she was going home. But fortunately, we were able to retrieve the video footings of her departure from the school. So we are not out to say anyone is lying, but we are all out to work hand in hand to get to the root of this. If she was actually raped, then we must all fight together to know where it was done and when it was done and by who. Nobody is trying to blame anybody here. If we don't get the right suspect, if at all it happened, if we don't get the right suspect, then we just leave a rapist to keep, doing whatever he knows best out there.
Since the incident made mainstream news, many have come out to opine what the suspect must have happened, some speaking from personal experience. A parent in the school's parents' WhatsApp group was quoted to have said, "This weekend, try the yearbook therapy. Ask the right questions and you'll be amazed, but don't shout though. Reduce any emotion that will make them withdraw so they don't feel like they are snitches. There's a code of silence in PALA. That's why they don't talk. Also, let them feel confident enough to approach some teachers or principal." The family is, however, calling on the police and the federal government to look into the case and grant the grieving mother and entire family justice.